Hello, it's Darth Steve 333 here with a quick walkthrough of the recent Revival gaming event. Hopefully this video turns out okay. I'm currently trying this for the first time, looking at footage that I captured on the Sunday morning before the vast majority of people came through the doors. Here we can see the Nintendo arcade, some fantastic machines here. Had to go on most of these, including Sky Skipper, which you can just see on the right there. That's quite a good game. If you're aware, it's one that's been basically built from the ground up from the last remaining original cabinet at Nintendo headquarters. The only thing that is original, if you like, is the board itself. Very good fun. So here we're sort of going around some of the home consoles. You can see, I don't know what that was. That was a Retron, I think. That's an Atari XE, I think. I think that was a Bandai Pippin. Master System, Atari, Nintendo, GX4000, Turbo Graphics. As you can see, all of the consoles are well represented here. There's a PlayStation, another Master System. Had to go on Operation Wolf on that myself. Surprised how good it was, actually. I might have to pick myself up a light phaser. As you can see, the event is pretty large, and this is just the first of two rooms. So here's Allan's Japanese retro game sales. Really nice chap. Got talking to him regarding getting a Virtual Boy cartridge to test my Virtual Boy. Turns out, or at least it seems, that mine is broken, so that was a bit disappointing. I got a cheap sort of loose cartridge to test mine with. I've had it about 2 years and not managed to test it up until now. So the next step with that is taking it apart. But anyway, back to the event. As you can see, some more consoles there. Very nice asteroids there in one of these little cabinets. I'm afraid I don't know the name of them. Variety of games, Bubble Bobble, Wonder Boy. Is that... sorry, my video footage is quite choppy on this preview, so hopefully you can pick up the games properly in the full video, so to speak. Bit of Daytona there. Great game. Didn't get a chance to go on it though. I wasted my opportunity, I think, by doing me filming, because it was pretty much in use the entire weekend. More arcade machines. Can't remember what was there. Xbox, Saturn, little mini Nintendo, and then they've got several, I think 8 GameCubes all hooked up to do 8-player Mario Kart. Again, didn't get a chance to have a go on that, but it was again well used, I think. So here we go, sort of still looking at all these hooked up GameCubes. Just swinging round. That's Vintage Gamer. Lovely chap there. I forget his name. I think it's Nick, actually. Bought a couple of things from him. What do we got here? T-shirts, Retro GT, I think it is. Again, some nice things there, but I was limited money wise, so despite being tempted by a couple of T-shirts there, I had to not bother getting one on this occasion. It's just Sore Thumb Retro Games, which oddly enough opened a shop not too long ago, just around the corner from where we stay when me, myself and my wife go to York near Christmas over my wife's birthday. Good to see them doing so well. I picked up something from them as well, which I'll show you in a pickups video in the not too distant future. So yeah, back to the consoles again. Great variety of consoles there. They had practically everything you could think of on display and playable. Another stall here. Again, if you were looking to buy games, this was a cracking event. There's all sorts. There's a Guitar Hero on demo, and a game of the Japanese drums, which I can't think of the name of. A little bit of pinball here. Back to the Future. Struggling to make it out on this preview, but I usually spend a bit longer in the pinball than I did on this occasion. Again, it's quite difficult to get on the pinball tables, although most people are willing to give up their go, so to speak, once they're finished. There are some that sort of tend to hog them a little bit, which is a bit of a shame, but it's sort of the exception rather than the rule. Another little stall here, and again, I don't know the name of this person, but making lots of little sort of ornaments and so on. Back to Sore Thumb again. So we're walking back through the main hall, if you like, to what I would probably call the new area. So past Vintage Gamer again. There's another stall next to him. Past Allan's Retro Game Imports. You might have just seen Dave Perry there talking. He was back at the event for the second year. You might know him from Games Master. I think a couple of rhythm games there. Everybit Gaming. I think I bought something from them last year, but not this year. This chap here, I think NTSC for you or something. This was actually two stalls. I made the mistake of picking up a couple of things and said how much for these, and he said, well, that one's actually that chap's. These guys had some good games, but they did seem a bit expensive. But I'm a bit out of touch with how much the high-end games go. I think I was just thinking they were a bit expensive because there was a couple of Dreamcast games that I wouldn't have minded getting, but they were very, very expensive and out of my league. So this is like the little canteen area, I suppose. One little stall in here. I went past one on the left as well on the way through. So I think this way, down this little corridor here, is where they held the talks last year. But this year, it's different. I didn't actually get to any talks last year. You can see there, John Romero. I went to his talk on the Saturday, which is the day before this was filmed. It was very good. Good to see him again. I saw him at Wolverhampton a few years ago. So this is, I think, the 80s hall. So you've got an assortment of all sorts of computers here. BBC Micro, Acorn Electron, a Spectrum Plus 3. That's an Amstrad. Commodore Plus 4. Commodore 16. I think that's a new style C64. I think an MSX there. Can't remember the name of these guys here. These were nice guys. Quite local as well, I think. So I might have to have a look up the road and see what they're selling. That's Soul Funk Retro. He's got a YouTube channel. I was going to say hello to him, but I think nerves, socially lacking on my part. I think sort of I got a bit nervous and didn't say anything. So some more computers here, an assortment of Amigas. I think these were brought by the Southwest Amiga group. You can see a chap there, I think, recapping an Amiga. Some more Amigas. 1200 there, I think. CD32, a couple of them. That's a CD TV. I think that's the first time I've ever seen one of those in the flesh. More Amigas. There's an Archimedes. It's Chris Wilkins, who I think started the event with Craig Turner a few years ago. He's got a cracking sort of book company now. He does good books. This is Retro Gear, and I got something from him as well. Again, he's got a YouTube channel, and I've completely forgotten what it's called. I'll try and put it in the comments. Some more computers, another CD TV. What have we got next to that? Yeah, more Amiga. Oop, just going round these guys. Up, Dragon 32. I'm not sure what that is. I think that's an Acorn Atom. And so, yeah, back to the arcade machines. So, again, a fantastic assortment. There's Ridge Racer. Had to have a go on that at some point. Chase HQ. Didn't get a go on that, unfortunately, although I wanted to. Outrun. I didn't see that running. Turtles 4-player cabinet. Simpsons 4-player cabinet, I think. Sorry about the camera work, it's a bit all over the shop. There's Jim Bagley, programmer from back in the day and heavily associated with the Spectrum Next. Operation Wolf, had to have a go on that. Terminator 2, Sega Rally. You know, if you wanted to play anything, or you know, within reason, this was your chance to do so. I can't recall what this particular stand was doing. Apologies if you're watching. That's Simon Butler, who used to work at Ocean and many other software houses. He was doing pixel art. Here's a couple of, not sure how you describe them. They use a ball bearing type thing. Anyway, Ms. Pac-Man, Arkanoid, Phoenix. I think, yeah, Hypersports spent quite some time playing that, and Track and Field over the weekend. Defender, classic game. Didn't catch that. Robotron, again, played that quite a lot, having only relatively recently discovered it. Crazy Kong, Mr. Doe. I think there's a Cubert that we just went past. A bit disappointed to have not spotted that on my initial run round. This chap here, whose name escapes me, is trying for a perfect run of Pac-Man and sort of records it. Two virtual boys. I think on the Saturday they were playing Hook Up Street Fighter 2 on those. Missed that, but I had to go on 3D Tetris, which was good fun. This chap here, Retro Dirt, I think he was selling sort of like low value games, but really cheaply. I picked up 3 Mega Drive cartridges for my wife's friend, which is, I think, very pleased with. This is the Retro Draftsman, some very nice images of sort of classic computer and geeky type stuff. Some cracking Vectrexes here. And this little image at the end here, it's not picked up too well on the video, but it's an image of one of the Cantina band. Don't know if you caught that little bit of music there, but that was the tune from Star Wars as well, from the Cantina. And there's a few indie games here. This chap had a motion control game. This particular stall had a lot of good games on there, but again, they were pretty expensive. Despite there being a few I would have liked to have picked up there, I had to rein myself in because I wasn't particularly rich that weekend. So anyway, we're coming towards the end of the event now, so again, a few more indie stalls, and this, I think these guys have got an idea of swapping games as like an online service with a small commission. And that's about it. So thanks for watching.